Hi, and welcome to A Walk to Remember. My name's Dwayne Baker Henderson, and as always, I'll be your host as we explore some of the truths and the myths that surround postpartum depression, and hopefully give you some tips to make your journey or someone else's journey who you're supporting a little bit easier as they go through postpartum depression. Now, I do this by sharing my family's experience and my personal experience when my wife got postpartum depression after the birth of our daughter in 2008, and the things that I learned and put into practice in my own life hopefully will help you and the people that you're supporting through it. Now, last week I talked about men as fixers, how society has labeled us as the fixers of people and situations, and we've kind of taken that on ourselves. Today, I want to kind of continue on that vein and talk to the support people out there. And I want to do that in a little bit of a different way as well. I want to talk about what to avoid when you're supporting somebody with postpartum depression. I usually talk about the positive aspects of what you should do, but today I want to talk about things you should avoid because there are a number of things that can be quite harmful in that situation. And it's really good to avoid them as much as you can. And I have a list of five, and I'll go through them each with a little bit of detail, not a whole lot, because I want to keep this fairly short. But the first is putting extra pressure on the person with postpartum depression, and this is true with any kind of depression, but especially true with people with postpartum depression. Putting any additional pressure or responsibilities on those people can be quite overwhelming. I know with my wife Corey, when she was in the most difficult part of her postpartum depression, anything extra was just way too much. She was struggling with just getting through her days as it was. So anything that was additional put on her, whether it be going to an event or taking care of something that she wouldn't normally have to take care of, that was just completely overwhelming for her. And so I had to really learn to not put that additional pressure on her. And it wasn't anything that she was doing. It wasn't her. It was the stuff that comes along with that depression. It makes it a lot easier for you to feel overwhelmed. So be very cautious about putting additional responsibilities onto somebody who's going through that situation. Your job as a support person should actually be to help remove pressure and extra responsibilities from that person. So keep that in mind as you are moving through that situation. The second, and this is a really tough one for me, was giving unsolicited advice. As I talked about in the last episode, where we men seem to think of ourselves as the fixers of things, my first my first impression when I found out that Corey was struggling with postpartum depression was that I really needed to fix that for her. I needed to help fix her and the situation and everything. And there's really not a lot you can do as the support person. And giving them advice on anything really without them asking for it again can feel overwhelming, can feel pushy, can feel not very loving. So avoid giving unsolicited advice, which is funny talking about in a program where I give you advice based on my own experience, but giving people that advice when they're not looking for it is really not wanted, and it can be quite harmful. So avoid that. The third is being overly direct in the way you speak. I know that there's a lot of people out there, men especially, who can be quite blunt and just tell things the way it is in their own mind, and that can also be quite harmful because people going through depression, going through postpartum depression, they're struggling internally already with a lot of different things. And I know in Corey's case, the things that I said to her sometimes didn't go across the way that I really wanted them to. And so I had to really kind of soften the way I said things. I'll give you an example. There were many times when Corey asked me if she was a good mother and a good person. And if I said yes, if I just said, yeah, you're a great mother, you're a great person, without putting context in it, being really short and abrupt in the way I said it, quite often that didn't come across as being believable. And I know I talked a little while ago about a gentleman that I've been emailing back and forth a little bit ago, and his wife didn't believe him when he said that he loved her. And I don't know how he said that, but I have a feeling he just said, "I love you," and that was pretty much it. And that may not have been what she heard when he said it. And so it's really important to think about the way you say things, and put some context to it so that they have something to look at that statement in context with. So instead of just saying, "Yeah, I love you," answering that question, um, give them reasons why you love them. Give them reasons why they're a great person. Give them more information to work with, so that those things that they're wrestling with internally don't overcome what you said. Um, and that can be a really difficult thing to do. Like I said, my personal first impulse was always to try and fix the situation. And to me, the best way to fix something, when Corey asked me if she was a good mom, is just say, "Yeah, of course you are." But that wasn't strong enough. I had to learn to say, "Yes, you're a good mother, and here's the reasons why you're a good mother." And hopefully that would override the dual voices in her mind that are saying that, "Yeah, I'm a good mom," but also questioning that constantly. So try and soften the things that you say. Don't be really direct in the way you answer things, because it may not get through if there's no context to it. The fourth thing to avoid, and this was a big one as well, because my natural impulse is to be that caregiver, and to make sure everything is okay, is smothering the person. If I was to say to Corey every 5 minutes, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Is there anything I can do?" That would become overwhelming as well. And that's something that I had to learn as well. Just to check in periodically, that's a good thing. But to check in constantly, and constantly be trying to make them feel comfortable, or whatever, that's not helpful at all. So avoid smothering. And if they ask you for help, great. Check in a couple times a day maybe, but don't overwhelm them with your own need to make sure they're okay. The last thing in that list is failing to try to understand what they're going through. And this was a tough one for me too, because leading up to a time about 10 years ago, I had a really difficult time expressing myself, my emotions, what I was feeling. And so it was really difficult for me to understand sometimes what other people were feeling as well. And this is something that is really important, to at least show that you're trying to understand. And what I did is I did lots of research online to try and find out more about postpartum depression, about depression in general. I watched lots of different videos on YouTube, online. I read lots of different things. And so if you can show the person you're supporting that, "Yeah, I'm trying to understand what you're going through," that is a great help for them as well, because it does make them, I think, to a certain extent, feel a part of something else more than just what's going on internally. And it does show that you care if you're trying to understand what's going on. So that's the list of 5 things I wanted to share. Not putting extra pressure on people, taking responsibilities away from them if possible. Giving unsolicited advice, really important thing to avoid. Being overly direct in the way you say things, so softening the way that you speak to that particular person. Not smothering, avoiding that at all cost, while still being loving and supportive. Failing to try and understand what is going on. And I'll give you a bonus one as well. Something that you really need to avoid when you're supporting somebody through something traumatic like postpartum depression or depression is forgetting about yourself. It's really important to make sure that you're taken care of as well. And I'm always reminded of the safety talks in airplanes, where they tell you to put your own mask on first if the masks come down from the roof, before you help anybody else. And that's really important, because you can only really support somebody when you're strong yourself. And so it's really important to take care of you. Make sure that you do the things that you're loving, as well as supporting the person that you're helping. If you like to laugh, make sure you're laughing. Make sure you're reading the things that you would normally read. Talk to people outside of that relationship as well. That's really important, and everything should come out okay if you do those things. Avoid those 5 things and make sure you take care of yourself. It'll help a great deal. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this episode. I did record this last week and went to upload it, but there was no noise, no sound, no noise. There was no sound in it. So I'm re-recording it, and I will put it up for today. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you doing so and giving me your feedback in the comment section below. It's been great knowing that my videos are actually making an effect for some people. So thank you very much, and make sure you like the video if you do like it. Share it with the people who you think might have value, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see what's coming up next. I do put out 2 videos a week, one on Tuesday like this one, where I talk about my family's journey through postpartum depression. And then on Fridays, I do a weekly vlog where I talk about other things that are important to me. So again, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.